Hello and welcome to my Total Level Quest Locked Ultimate Ironman. Those of you unfamiliar with my channel, I like to make restricted Ironman accounts such as a desert only account and a Fremnik only account, but this time I am moving over to the Ultimate Ironman game mode. The Ultimate Ironman game mode has always intrigued me and I'm looking forward to a new challenge, and the main goal of this account is going to be to earn a quest cape on my Ultimate Ironman account with a couple of restrictions. So let's go ahead and get into the rules of the account. The first rule of the account is that one quest must be completed for every 10 total levels. So once I earn 10 total levels, I stop what I'm doing and I go and do a quest, and once I complete the quest, I can earn 10 more total levels before I can do my next quest. The second rule on the account is that quest reward experience cannot grant more than 10 total levels. So for example, a lot of accounts like to do Witch's House and Waterfall quest up front, but Waterfall quest gives about 60 total levels from 1 to level 31 attack and strength, which is against the restrictions on my account. I must earn only up to 10 total levels from a quest reward. This adds a little bit more restriction on the account and makes the early game a little bit more grindy because I can't just burn through 5 or 6 quests to earn a couple hundred total levels. The third rule is that I cannot store quests, so I must complete the quest once that total level mark is reached. I can't continue to grind levels. I must stop and do a quest, and then I can continue back with that grind afterwards. Rule number 4 is that off of Tutorial Island, 3 quests must be completed first. When you spawn off of Tutorial Island, you are at 32 total levels, so I must complete 2 quests that don't gain any experience, and then the third quest can give me experience, but I cannot pass the 40 total level mark. Lastly, any new quests added to the game, I will add 10 total levels to the account to complete the quest. As of now, there is 154 quests in the game, so that puts my total level at 1,540 to complete the final quest and get the quest cape. Now, a lot of you think that 1,540 total level may be a lot of levels and make the account really easy, but I'm going to throw up a graphic on screen here that will show you just what levels I'll have by the end of the account. So in total, 1,475 is the minimum amount of levels you need to reach all stat requirements for the quest cape, with the exception of Dream Mentor. So Dream Mentor requires 85 combat, which these stats on the screen do not give. To earn 85 combat and be a magic based combat is going to be about 1,499 total levels, so that leaves me with about 41 levels in total to get my stats up. As you can see, the combat stats are the lowest on the account. 50 hit points, 50 attack. I can't even wield any dragon weapons by the end of the account. And then the 60 range is probably the biggest one. I'm going to need to get that a lot higher for some of the endgame bosses like in Song of the Elves or in Dragon Slayer 2. So I'm going to need to efficiently craft this account closer to the end of it to make sure that I can complete these bosses within the level restrictions. I'm excited to get this account started. I've never earned a quest cape on any of my accounts before, so this will be my first one, assuming I complete the challenge. Being on an Ultimate Ironman with these level restrictions, I know it's going to be quite the challenge at the end game, but I'm looking forward to it, and any help that anybody has, feel free to leave a comment. I've never played an Ultimate Ironman before, so if you have any tips or tricks or any death storage tips as well, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll read all the comments and I will take notes just because I'm learning as I go. The beginning of the account's going to be a little bit slower just because a lot of the quests I do are going to be some of the free-to-play quests and a lot of the non-combat ones, but once I get into the mid-game of the account, it's going to get pretty interesting to see how I build out my route and how I use my total levels accordingly. With that being said, let's hop off of Tutorial Island and get this account started. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, so to begin the account, I'm going to go ahead and drop all my items. They're just going to weigh me down, and I can't really use the runes or anything to gain experience now because I do need to complete 3 quests before I can go ahead and start training any of my levels. So I think I'm just going to start with Rune Mysteries. It's a pretty quick quest. I don't need to travel too far around the map to complete it, so doesn't grant any experience, and it does essentially unlock the rune crafting skill so I can craft runes later on. Now I know most accounts usually begin with quests like Witch's House or the Waterfall quest, Waterfall quest would give me 31 attack and strength, which would give me 60 total levels, and due to the account's restrictions, I can only gain 10 total levels at most by completing a quest. So Waterfall quest is actually going to take a long time to complete, just because looking at the route I need to map for my attack and strength, I'm not going to really be able to do Waterfall quests until I have maybe 50 or 60 quests completed already. And by that time, it's going to just give marginal levels for me. So let's go ahead and start with Rune Mysteries, and then we'll knock out a few quests after that. And that was a pretty quick and easy quest. That is Rune Mysteries completed, and that is quest number 1 out of 154. So we are on our way to the quest cape. While I'm in the area, I think I'm just going to head north and go to Drainer Manor and complete Ernest the Chicken. It's a pretty quick quest, and I don't really have to travel too far, so that is very ideal at this level. And just less than 10 minutes after that, this is the completion of Ernest the Chicken. It does give a little bit of GP, which I'm not really going to use because the first skilling grind that I do have does require some wilderness access, so I'll most likely end up losing that GP on the way. So that is the completion of the second quest on the account. So now I need to complete one more quest, which is allowed to give me experience if I want it to, as long as I don't pass level 40 in my total. But I will go ahead and complete another really easy quest that gives no experience, which is Romeo and Juliet. I think everybody remembers the end of this quest, the cutscene. It's always interesting to watch, but anyways, that's another quick and easy quest completed. And there is 5 additional quest points, puts us at 10 total quest points and 3 quests out of 154. And now we can begin to skill on the account. So we now have 8 total levels to work with. We cannot unlock another quest until we hit 40 total level. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the items in my inventory, and I'm going to head to the wilderness, and I'm pretty sure everybody can guess where I'm about to go. I've made my way to the boneyard in level 27 wilderness, and I'll be picking up big bones and hopping worlds so I can get as much as possible in my inventory, and then head up to the chaos altar so I can use it on the altar and get some pretty quick prayer levels. This is going to be the early part of the account, is just getting prayer up. I figured on an ultimate Ironman this is the best time to do it, just because I can't really risk dying with a lot of things in my inventory on the account in the wilderness. So I'm going to go ahead and get prayer up early so that way I can just not worry about it later on. No need to get a full inventory. I only need to get to level 9 prayer, and this is going to be plenty of bones to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use these on the altar, and then we will unlock our next quest. Man, that is level 9 prayer, so that is going to bring me up to 40 total level. I did get a couple extra too many bones, so those are going to go at a loss for now, but that is 9 prayer and 40 total level. That unlocks the 4th quest on the account. So I'll suicide here and head to Lumbridge. So I was able to grab an iron dagger from Lumbridge at the Goblin House, sold it to the general store so I could buy an Eye of Newt, and then I grabbed a piece of beef from Barbarian Village, and then the onion I was able to pick, and the rat tail was from the house to the west. So that is going to be the completion of Witch's Potion, and that is 325 magic experience, 1 quest point. That'll be quest number 4 on the account and bring me to 43 total level. So my next quest gets unlocked in 7 levels. For the remaining 7 levels, I am headed back to the wilderness. Went ahead and grabbed a full inventory of bones from the boneyard and got up to level 16 prayer, which is a total level of 50, unlocking the 5th quest on the account. And it turns out the bones that I died with earlier did stay on the ground for the 1 hour time, so I'll grab those. And when I suicide, the remaining bones in my inventory will be saved as well for the next hour. So if I can complete the next quest and then come back here, I'll have almost a full inventory of bones to work with to work on the next prayer levels. And that is Sheep Shearer completed for 150 crafting experience, taking me from level 1 to level 3 crafting and a total level of 52. So now to unlock my next quest, I just need to get 8 more total level and I am headed back to the wilderness. With the excess GP that I did have, I went ahead and got some kebabs from Al Kharid and gonna head back to the wilderness. The boneyard skeletons have been doing a number on me, so I figured I should get some food before I go back up there for a full inventory. And on the very last bone, that is level 24 prayer, and that's gonna put me at 60 total level, unlocking my next quest. And with just the one bone to spare, I don't really mind losing this one, so I'll go ahead and just lose it here. And let's move on to our next quest. So the next quest that I decided to do was the very first quest in RuneScape, Cook's Assistant. So that's 1 quest point, 300 cooking experience. So that'll get me level 4 cooking and 63 total levels, so 7 more levels to go use in the wilderness. And just like that, that is level 31 prayer. So that'll get me to 70 total level, and that unlocks my next quest. And that is X marks the spot completed. That is the 7th quest on the account. We are now sitting at 14 quest points and 70 total level. That opens up all of Zaya in the Korend quest line, so I will approach that as I get the favor for that. But I do get 2 rewards from this, a 300 XP lamp and a beginner clue. So for the XP lamp, I will be using it on Herblore. Unfortunately, you do have to complete Druidic Ritual before going ahead and doing that, so I will have to complete that quest next so I can use this lamp to free up my inventory space. That way I don't lose it in the wilderness when I continue my prayer grind. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up this beginner clue first and see what I get. Okay, this should be the last step there. A little spin to win on the emote clue, and this is the casket. So I'm hoping for some type of magic staff so I can auto cast. So let's see what I end up getting. And there we go. That is a fire staff there. That is probably the best one I could get other than the air one. So once I get a 13 magic, I can go ahead and auto cast those spells. But now I'm going to complete some Stronghold of Security so I can get some coins. I made the decision to just complete up to the point where I get 5k. I'm going to save the last floor for the remaining 5k that I will pick up at a later time. I just need this 5k to get my magic level started up front, and then I'll pick up that remaining 5k after I finish the prayer grind, most likely for more runes. But I'm going to head over to Varrock and pick up some runes. So Druidic Ritual requires 4 different meats from 4 different monsters, so I decided to use my magic training to pick those 4 up, and now I'll use the remaining runes I have to get to the 10 total level so I can hit 80 total and unlock that quest. After killing a couple cows, I moved over to the imps, hoping to get some beads for the imp catcher quest. Unfortunately, I got no beads before hitting level 13 magic. 13 magic will put me at the 80 total level, so I'll stop gaining levels now and complete the next quest, and you already know which quest that's going to be. Well, it's only been 8 minutes since that last clip, and that is the completion of Druidic Ritual. A very quick quest if you have all the supplies ahead of time, and I will use the lamp that I got from X marks the spot, and that jumps me up to level 6 Herblore. So I'm sitting at 85 total level. I have 5 to work with, so I think we're going to go back to imps for a little bit and try and get some more beads. With this last imp here, this is going to put me at level 17 magic and 90 total level. As you can see from the inventory, we are sitting the black bead short, so I can't do imp catcher now. I'm going to have to go ahead and do a new quest, and I'm going to do a quest I probably should have done early on in the account, like the very first quest that I could have completed with total level requirements. So let's head over to Lumbridge and do that quest. Another pretty straightforward quest, that is the completion of the Restless Ghost. 1100 prayer experience would have got me a lot of early prayer levels that the Boneyard got me already, but with that does give me a clean slate and allow me to unlock 9 more levels here because I just got 1 prayer level from that. So with that, I am going to try and get this black bead so I can do imp catcher, free up my inventory, and head back out for prayer. It only took me 2 magic levels to pick up the black bead, so now instead of chasing the imps all over, I'm going to go ahead and just go to the goblins and finish up using these runes and get up to 100 total level. As you can see by the chat box, I have done a lot of levels here at goblins, and that is level 23 magic with 100 total level, unlocking the 10th quest on the account, which is going to be imp catcher. Another very quick quest to complete as long as you have all of the items available, but that is the completion of imp catcher, 1 quest point, 875 magic experience, and an amulet of accuracy. So that's the 10th quest on the account, 10 out of 154, and with that magic experience, it did also get me to level 24. So while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and burn through the rest of the runes that I have. I'm just going to use them on the lesser demon here. Can't tell you grab anything if I get it, but I'm just going to use the runes because I don't need them where I'm headed. I'm going to do the easy clue next, and if I can complete that, that'd be great, but I'm going to go back to the wilderness and go for some more prayer levels. There's a pretty essential prayer level, level 37, which is Protect from Magic. We still need 2 more levels before we get our next quest, so let me go ahead and finish up these bones and probably need 1 more inventory after that. We got so close, but we ended up 53 experience short of level 39 prayer, which would have put us at 110 total level. So I'll go ahead and just suicide here, and I'm going to just run back to the boneyard, pick up a couple bones, and just bury them for that final level, and then we can move on. Then we have 4 quick bones there for 60 prayer experience and level 39. Let's move on to our next quest. Because I don't have level 43 prayer yet, I'm just knocking out a lot of the easy quests that don't really need many items and don't really give that many rewards that I need to keep. So 1 gold bar, I don't really lose too much there, but that is Goblin Diplomacy, 5 quest points, and that puts me at level 5 crafting. So now we are sitting at a total level of 112. You know where we're headed next. We need 4 more prayer levels, and then we're finally done with the boneyard. And with this last bone here, that is going to be level 43 prayer, and that concludes the prayer grind in the wilderness. There's really no need for me to come back here. The rest of the experience I get in prayer is going to come from quest rewards, so no need to level that any higher than it needs to be, as I need to save those total levels for the end. But now we can start playing our Ultimate Ironman. Early game transportation on an Ironman is brutal, so I'm going to go ahead and just knock out some agility levels. This will actually give me level 5 agility here at the gnome course for 120 total level. Once I finish up my next quest, I'm probably going to come back here and keep working on it. I just need more run restoration and just more mobility overall, just so I can get around the map a little bit faster. Decided to knock out a pretty easy quest, the Miscellaneous Mystery quest. So that is 600 crafting experience, some gems that I can't really cut, so I'll probably just end up selling them in an uncut form, but that is level 9 crafting and 124 total level. I went ahead and completed the last 6 levels here at the gnome course again to get to level 11 agility. At level 10 I did unlock the Draenor course, so I'll be using that from now on. There is level 130 total level. Let's work on our crafting a little bit more. I've just been knocking out the low-hanging fruit quest, so here is another easy one that you really just need the pot and you can complete the rest of the quest, but that is Murder Mystery, 2,000 coins, which is going to be helpful for buying some more runes, and also that is 135 total level. So let's go back and run some more agility laps. So I think the next goal on the account is going to be the Witch's House quest. It gives a lot of hit points experience, and I'm currently sitting at 16. I think if I complete it now, it will take me from 16 to 26, which is a little risky for the account because if I do gain any magic levels during the quest, it would knock me over that 10 total level threshold that I did set my restriction on. So I'll probably get 17 hit points first, and then that will give me a little bit of leeway by completing the quest by getting 1 magic level for the 10 total, and that'll transition me right into my next quest. And after 11 laps, that is going to be level 16 agility, 140 total level. Prior to doing the Witch's House quest, I'm actually going to do another quest that gives some coins, which is just going to be the Sheep Herder quest. Gives 3k coins, so that will be enough to buy my runes. The sheep were very generous to me. This quest did not take any time at all. That is 3,100 coins. You do pay 100 up front, so a 3,000 net, and that is 140 total level, so I have 10 levels to work with. As mentioned, I want to get 17 hit points before I go and do the Witch's House quest, so I'll use this 5k coins to go buy some runes, and we'll start training a little bit of magic. So I finished up with 8 mining to get me up to 150 total level. I got 2 magic levels, 1 hit points level using runes on barbarians, but I wanted to stop at those combat stats because that's what I'm going to need to complete Witch's House without going over the total level threshold. So let's head over there, and I think if I did my math right, I'll get exactly 10 total levels, so that will transition directly into another quest. Alright, so here we go, moment of truth. I got 28 magic during the quest, and with that experience, it brings me up to 26 hit points, and if you look at that total level, it is at 160. So it's one of those cases where completing the quest gives you the exact number of total levels needed to move on to the very next quest. It's a little risky if you do mess up the quest and you get more levels than needed, so it's not something I'll probably keep doing, but For now, that is going to be great for just getting around the game and survivability. I know I mentioned it wouldn't get this close again, but after that last quest for Witch's House, I did Plague City, and this actually got me 9 mining levels, so it put me right at 169 total levels. So just need to pick up one more level. I think I'm just going to finish it up on thieving just because it is at level 1, but then we can move on to our next quest right after that. And just like that, that is level 2 thieving. Just needed that one level to complete the total level grind to unlock the next quest. I'm actually going to do biohazard now. If you know where I'm going with this, as I explained a little bit earlier, getting around the game is very difficult as an Ironman, especially an Ultimate Ironman. So I'm going to make it a priority to work on doing the Arty Diaries 1 for the Arty Cloak. And that is the completion of Biohazard. So that's going to give me 1200 thieving experience, and it's going to give me access to the combat training arena, which is a diary requirement for the easies. So with that, that's going to allow me to complete almost all of the easy requirements. I do need to do some hand members, which is why that thieving experience is so important. But there's level 10 thieving directly off that and 178 total levels. So I do need to pick up up to 15 thieving to get the rusty sword from hand members. And other than that, most of the diary will be complete. Picked up 2 easy thieving levels here at the cake stall, so that's going to put me at 180 total level, unlocking the 18th quest on the account. So I'm going to stay in the area and finish up with the Haziel Cult quest. Very easy quest to complete with level 43 prayer, so that is 1500 thieving experience and level 16 thieving, which gives me access to the ham members. So I'm going to head over that way. I have 6 levels to work with to get the rusty sword. And then after that, I can work on completing the Arty Easy Diaries. It did not take very long to get the rusty sword. I did earn 2 thieving levels, putting me at level 18 thieving. And I did also get a crafting level from polishing some buttons. So I did get a few total levels, but that is all I needed to complete the Arty Easy Diaries. So let's go ahead and claim that cape. I was able to knock out the fishing trawler part as well when I was getting the rusty sword turned into a normal sword, and by talking to 2 pints here, this is going to give me the Arty Cloak 1. So I do get an XP lamp, can't use it until I have a skill in level 30, and I don't think I want to waste it on prayer. So other than that, I don't have any other skills over 30, so I'll just hold it in my inventory until I can use it. But that is the big milestone done for the first episode on this account. With this teleport, now that I have 43 prayer, this will give me an easy way to recharge it, and it does give me another easy way to get to the other side of the map, because coming from Lumbridge or anything like that over here is always a pain. So glad to have that done, and I think this is a great stopping point for episode 1. So feel free to leave any comments below and let me know any tips and tricks on Ultimate Ironman. It's my first time doing an Ultimate Ironman, so I'm not quite sure what I should be doing or how I should be managing my inventory, so any help down below would be greatly appreciated.